Over the past 3 months, the two of us have traveled 12,000 miles in our short bus tiny home. We left August 1st with a mission in mind to arrive in Southern California by mid-October.
The first thing we learned, and the first piece of highly opinionated, yet highly honest advice we want to give is this. See this area of the map? Drive through it as fast as you can, especially if you're from the Northeast like us. While spending a week eating deep dish pizza in Chicago or sleeping outside the Mall of America in Minneapolis may seem intriguing, this area right here is the gold mine.
If you have even the slightest interest in natural beauty, this is the place you want to be. There's so much to see in this area alone that you could travel this region for years and only see the tip of the iceberg.
Pick a couple spots to take a day or two as a break from driving. We chose Niagara Falls and Lake Michigan. We continued on with our eyes set on the Midwest. Second tip, if you ever find yourself driving in South Dakota, get yourself a crossword puzzle.
Once you hit Route 90, you'll be looking at nothing but farmland for 2 days straight, so get something to keep yourself occupied. After 2 days of bashing our heads against the steering wheel from boredom, we were rewarded with the first jaw-dropping views of our entire trip, Badlands National Park.
We were also rewarded with our first blowout fight of the trip, so our footage is somewhat limited here. Living in 97 square feet with another person takes a little adjusting, to say the least.
So we made it to the Badlands. This is the first national park I've ever been in. I'm just starting a 4-mile hike right now. Kaylee is right over there, back at the bus. We figured it was about time for us to get just a little time apart.
We had to be in western Montana by August 15th for ranch hand jobs we landed to make some side cash. So we had a few days to explore the Black Hills and Mount Rushmore area. This brings us to our third tip. When you're deciding on locations you want to visit, set hard dates on when to arrive in each location, but don't fill in all the gaps.
Give yourself time to explore freely and do whatever you want. If it wasn't for the ability to roam and adventure, we wouldn't have found some of our favorite campsites like these.
We spent an entire day driving from the Black Hills to western Montana, and we were greeted with a warm, soft, fluffy blanket of smoke. The region was seeing some of its worst forest fires in history, and we were right in the center of it.
So Jordan and I just took our last ATV ride up to this insanely gorgeous mountain. Unfortunately, the view's a little bit ruined because all that smoke over there is from forest fires, and as you can see, all over here, here's the proof of destruction. So many trees destroyed. We worked on the ranch for 3 days, shot down to the Boise area to watch the eclipse, rescued a puppy along the way, and made a stop in our country's first national park, Yellowstone.
You excited for the eclipse, Kaylee? I can't even see anything. Am I pointing it at us?
I think so.
It's all black. So Kaylee and I are at an adoption center right now. We got Lola with us.
Spending the day with her.
And she's spending the day with us. We're gonna see how it goes, and then we're gonna think about adopting her. So we thought so hard about this decision. Kaylee and I went back and forth about it.
So after about a solid 5 hours of going back and forth trying to decide what the heck we were gonna do, we unfortunately decided that we had to steal her from the shelter and become our new puppy. Hi there, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Being the stubborn millennials we are, we decided to keep driving north, back into northern Montana, and eventually stopping in Glacier National Park, only to be greeted with thicker smoke this time from raging forest fires all throughout the park.
So at first you might have thought that that was fog over the lake, but this is actually all smoke. There's massive forest fires all around us right now, and we're in Glacier National Park, and this was one of the places that we were most excited to come see, but most of it's actually closed.
At this point, our plans of going north to Banff, Jasper, Vancouver, and then down the Pacific Coast Highway completely changed. The smoke from the forest fires were so bad, we decided to completely change our route and head south.
And this brings us to our fourth tip. If it's not good where you are, don't waste your time. Go somewhere else.
And this can be for a bunch of reasons, like bad weather, bad vibes, or an unfulfillment of expectations. We were so eager to get out of the smoke, we woke up one morning, decided on completely new travel plans, and arrived in beautiful Salt Lake City by sunset.
We spent a couple days urban camping in the city, then headed east to Denver. We wanted to make some extra cash, so we spent a few days working for a food delivery service called Postmates.
And this brings us to our fifth tip. If you need to make money while you travel, work for Postmates. You can make decent money working at $15 to $20 per hour, and you get to see parts of the city you may have otherwise missed.
We stayed in Colorado for 2 weeks, spending some time in Vail and Boulder, and then drove west towards Vegas, with stops in the Canyonlands, Bryce Canyon, and Zion National Park. This stretch was our favorite week of the entire trip. And well, we'll just let the video speak for itself. But before we do, it's time to make this music a little more epic.
Made it to San Diego on October 15th, and we were rewarded for our accomplishment with the stomach flu. We celebrated by laying in bed for a week and wandering the streets looking for public restrooms. You can only begin to imagine how that went.
But now we're feeling a hell of a lot better. We just got on the beach, the sun just came up, it's gonna be an absolutely beautiful day, and we're gonna be heading out of San Diego tomorrow. And we haven't figured out which direction we're gonna head yet. We don't know if we're going north, south, or east, but all we do know is that whichever direction we decide to go, we'll be bringing you with us.